A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. On that day as evening drew on, Jesus said to his disciples, "Let us cross to the other side." Leaving the crowd, they took Jesus with them in the boat just as he was, and other boats were with him. A violent squall came up, and waves were breaking over the boat, so that it was already filling up. Jesus was in the stern, asleep on a cushion. They woke him and said to him, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" He woke up, rebuked the wind, and said to the sea, "Quiet, be still." The wind ceased, and there was a great calm. Then he asked them, "Why are you terrified? Do you not yet have faith?" They were filled with great awe and said to one another, "Who then is this, whom even wind and sea obey?" The Gospel of the Lord. It's one of my favorite passages. Growing up in Michigan, I had the privilege of being on boats. My brother Jim had a catamaran, which is a lot of fun. It's also a very risky boat to be riding with a 20-year-old. And I remember just being in grade school and high school, being with him in the catamaran on Cass Lake. And you know what? I felt comfortable because Jim knew what he was doing. Jim was an expert with the catamaran. We didn't wipe out, and we had a great time flying along. If he had said, "Hey, Mike, take the catamaran out by yourself," I'd say, "No, thank you. I have no idea how to do this. I could do a sunfish, but not a catamaran." So when I think of Christ, I guess that's the first concept. I think of him being the captain of the boat. I think of him being at the helm. I think of him guiding our ship through all the storms that he knows are ahead, right? He knows the weather patterns that are waiting for us. He knows the hurricanes we're going to be going through. He knows the uncertainty we're going to feel when the skies get dark, when the waves get tall. But he also knows how to get us through that. Great captains in the history of mankind have managed a way to get their ship through tremendous storms, even hurricanes. They're experts in that. And we need to trust that Christ knows what he's doing with our life. He understands us. He knows what he can handle. He knows what we can handle. He knows how much we can take. He knows when to dial it back and maybe step in a little bit more. And I think that's the other point. Christ is not just our captain, but he's also our companion. He's with us, and he needs our help. I remember being out in Maine on vacation, and a family paid for us to go on this racing sailboat. And this thing could fly. It was incredible. It had actually been in many races, and the captain and the crew were on the boat with us and explaining, how they get the boat to go faster. And at one point, as we were going along, this boat started racing with them. And the captain said, "Looks like we have a race." And suddenly, it was a game changer. The captain got behind the helm. The two guys in the crew were starting to adjust the sails. They were listening to the captain's advice, and suddenly the boat went, like 3 times as fast. And I think we need to be attentive to when Christ wants us to adjust the sails. We need to be attentive. We're not just going along for the ride, kind of as a passenger. We need to be manning, the boat and listening to the captain as our companion. Not just trusting in him, but collaborating with him. And I guess those are the 2 takeaways in life that, I've never used the word lonely. There's a Beatles song, "All the lonely people, where do they all come from?" Right? All the lonely people. I don't feel that loneliness. I've never felt that loneliness because Christ is my friend. Christ is always with me. Christ is right next to me, looking in my eyes, strengthening me, giving me the peace and strength that I need to keep going. So, happy Father's Day, everyone. And make sure Christ is in your boat. Make sure he's at the helm. And make sure you're manning the sails with a lot of trust and a lot of love. Eventually, we will get to a safe shore, which is called heaven. He knows what he's doing, and he'll get us there. And many other boats are following you. For the dads out there, many little boats called your children. They need to know what you're doing is God-driven, God-inspired. And God bless you. Amen.